Hey Eurovision fam, it's Alicia Michelle. I'm so excited today because the road to Pesma za Eurovisiu continues. And I am having the privilege of being able to talk to one of the songs that when I reacted, like just off of a snippet, I was like, ooh, what is this song? All right, and I am talking to Lena. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I should
Lena
be
or Lena,
Lena or
good.
okay, Lena, because I'm listening to the song and the song is basically saying call me Lena.
Yeah.
So I should know. So tell me, what was this creative process like for this song when you first went into the studio? What were you kind of thinking you were going to create? And did you sort of think in your mind, "Oh, I'm going to try and put this in for PZE?"
Okay, so well, my story is very specific. I think the one that you actually don't expect at all, because the first song that my producer Darko Dimitrov, who's a very famous producer, not only like in this region, but he really works across Europe a lot. When he sent me the song in October, it was a fun major song, that just had this kind of thing with Call Me Lena that just, it was like a trick, and it was a bit more maybe Eurovision kind of song. And then in the meantime, unfortunately, my mother passed away in January, on the 3rd of January. Yes, and I actually really wanted to stay in the festival and just go on with it as I know that she would like to. She was very ill for many years. And then Darko sent me another version when she died and said, okay, we're gonna make this a completely other song and it's for your mother. And the whole lyrics are actually about the fact that when she gave me my name, like, uh, that was not a popular name, so Lena wasn't like in Serbia at the time, and now it is. It's very popular. So the song is about her, and the song is about what you do when somebody that you love really passes away. But it's just done with, I think, in a sort of production that when you're a foreigner, you don't get that like as a typical sad song. I think it has hope. It has a vibe.
So when you think of competitions like Eurovision, like Pesma za Eurovisiju, it's not just about the song. Like the song, I think, is the core, but it's also how you decide to bring the song to life on the stage. Now, I know you can't tell us exactly what you're doing, but can you give us an idea of what do you want people to feel when they're watching you? And of course, because I'm a girl and I care about these things. Can you tell us a little bit about the styling? And you don't have to tell us what you're wearing, but what you're thinking about for the clothes.
So I was very inspired, by the story of the song because it's very intimate and it's more like a theater play. And I was brought up in a family of artists because my father is a famous screenplay writer. So when I think of a song, to be honest, when I think of the lyrics, I always think of the story behind, So because the story is so intimate and so real for me, it's completely real. I really wanted people to take people like inside of my story, like you're just sitting in a coffee shop with a friend and you're telling them a story. The whole thing about this song is really that, and of course the feel because this group that we have inside, of course, it gives you some kind of atmospheric. A bit maybe hypnotizing feel, So I have my musicians on stage, that's for sure, because we have a lot of concerts, and I really wanted to have them on the stage with me. And I really wanted to have something very sparkly, something that is going to just look good on a camera. So that's for sure that we went for. But um, I have also made a small movie that goes behind me. That maybe
Ooh.
corresponds, with a story because the song is actually about the eternity in a way because the song itself is about the person that just went away, passed away, and that you're actually singing for them and singing to them until you probably Yeah, you wish to meet again. So my song is quite heavy, but I didn't want it to put it like uh heavy on the stage, like not to be I say that pathetic,
Okay.
like to use photos of me when I was a kid and my mom or something like that. So that would be not correct. So I just really wanted to like refer to the life
Mhm.
itself, like where we come from, where we go, and I think you're gonna like.
Okay, well, I'm very excited about what you will possibly be bringing on the stage. You touched on this, and when I did my research, I was like, "Oh, what was it like sort of being a young child in kind of this family that seems to be around the arts a lot?" So, can you reflect a little bit of what was that like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was always inspired by the life that my father had because he worked with the most famous writers and actors across ex-Yugoslavia, but also in Europe. He made a movie that won Cannes Festival Award in 1995, Underground, with Emir Kusturica. Emir Kusturica is a great friend of Johnny Depp. And many great artists from the states. And so um, they've all been in my house, and I've never looked at them as something um, other than just ordinary people who are just really in love with what they do, completely obsessed with what they do. And also, um, I never had, how to say that, I don't. like to see famous people as something extraordinary, and that has helped me a lot in my own world, of music and just thinking that the art that you do, the piece of work that you do, is just so much bigger than the person itself. Because we obviously we come and we go, and it's just, but the piece of art that you do is just so big. So that's what I've learned from them. The honesty in doing your work, not pretending that you're an artist, but just living that art. So that's beautiful. That's the thing that I could really see, and also there are people with a lot of sense of humor, very modest. The bigger the star, the more I'd say common man is, and nicer and more kind. That's my experience.
I think that that's true. I think now we live in a world that's sort of what you say, celebrity obsessed, and it's kind of like we're all regular people, and they
Yes,
see
yes,
themselves.
absolutely.
Yeah. So this year at Pesma, there's a lot of heavy hitters. You've got people who have participated before. You have people who have won. We had, Constracta who's coming back and whatnot. So this feels like a very big year for Serbia's national selection for Eurovision. Does it feel like that? Sort of in the rehearsals and everything. Does it feel like Pesma is becoming bigger in Serbia than maybe what it once was before?
Oh, I think definitely the production is getting better, and that's what that's something that I can see. Obviously, of just like doing a couple of shootings this year, that it's just getting better and better. I think each year, and that I really appreciate that. Um, for sure, we have a lot of good songs and great artists, and we have a lot of young people, who are um, for the first time coming, there, and and I think that's really sweet, to have people that are already like well known in the business, but also to have some completely fresh faces. For me, that was always the core of this festival, And what I like the most about Eurovision is the fact that you can present yourself just in the way that you really are. I don't think you can really, uh, pretend and make a song for Eurovision to be accepted in Eurovision, and that's something that I didn't try, obviously, because our song is not the most commercial song you can get. First, it's like a medium tempo to slow tempo song. So I think the beauty of this contest as well in Serbia, but like also like in Europe, is that you can really show your craft in 3 minutes. You can show the style that you have. That's very good.
And so you're talking about your craft. I mean, I've been listening to the song, I've listened to some of your other songs, and you've really studied this. So, as someone who I would say is a vocalist and thinking of your voice, what do you feel like are your inspiration points, like people that you're like, ooh, I want to do that? And kind of what are some things you've learned about your voice through singing and whatnot? Yeah.
Well, I've studied in Amsterdam, so I lived for a very long time in Holland, and I began touring with the Dutch Royal Orchestra, and I've been um, doing like festivals across the world. And if there is one thing, because I come from a land that, the language is not as big as in English. Of course, when you sing in English, it's something completely different. But if I've learned anything, it's just that the emotion is the one that comes through. There's like you can sing in any sort of language, but if the person has a certain vibration and the emotion gets to you, then it's bigger than the technique. It's bigger than vocal technique. It's bigger than the art and how the artist is going to look. It's bigger than whatever he has on the stage. I think the first thing that you actually get through is the emotion. And if somebody really catches your attention, like from the first second on, and it grabs you for your soul, and that stays with you.
And so I ask everyone this question. I'm assuming, you've heard some of the songs that your competitors are bringing to the Pesma stage. Is there a song that you feel like, ooh, I'd like to like maybe do a cover of that song and put sort of your own spin on that track?
Oh, I love covers in general, and people know me here for doing covers of the songs like from '90s and '80s, and it's been my trademark, to be honest. And I really, really have a couple of songs here this year that I think, oh my God, I'd like to do this. I would maybe do it in a different way. But they're young people who just think very modern, and I think they're not very typical for Serbian way of thinking in music, and I think that's very good, because we just see that with each year something changes, and that's really beautiful. I like Theodora, and they're all my friends, so it's always so bad to give names. I was in a jury for Pesma last year. I was in a final evening jury, never thinking that I'm gonna apply for the contest itself, to be honest. And I like it better that I'm gonna sing this year than just to give votes. It's awful. It's really awful.
Well, it's hard, but somebody has to do it, okay? We need
Yes,
our music professionals in there to like, you know, make their opinions known. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Well, thank you
yes.
so much for giving me your
Thank you
time
too.
today. And
Thank you so much.
yeah, and talking with me, there's going to be tons of people rooting for you on the stage. We are excited to see it come to life.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'm very thankful that you're interested and doing such a beautiful coverage of our festival. It's really beautiful.